Thank you all for coming out to hear the extraordinary Edwin Torres. He joins us all the way from Beach in New York City, his real home, or other home, also home. With the support of the English Department, the Provost Office, the Humanities Division, the Carthage Diversity Initiative, and Poetry Underground, who kindly booked the room for us. Before I begin introducing Edwin, I'd like to mention an upcoming event on two events really, on November 13th, which is a Thursday at 6 p.m. in Lentz 425. Amy Littman, our own Amy Littman, and our own Dex Westrom will be joined by Matthew Brennan in a reading of poetry and fiction. I hope you will all come out for that. And on that same day, during the lunch hour, the 12:40 to 11, no, that would be going back in time, 11:30 to 12:40, 11:40 to 12:30, something like that. Matthew Brennan will give a talk on Frankenstein and Young Frankenstein, not to be missed in Neiman. So look for that in November. On to tonight's event. Edwin Torres is a lingualist. I'm sure I said that wrong. I was practicing in the car on the way to the airport. This poetic birth came via the New Yorican Poets Cafe as midwife by the St. Mark's Poetry Project. And for those of you who don't know, St. Mark's Poetry Project is a center of kind of second generation New York school and experimental poetry and beat poetry and all these other things. And then the New Yorican Cafe was a real birthplace of performance poetry, slam poetry, and other movements. So Edwin brings all those things together. In his capacity to combine, to contain the multitudes those places imply, and even the contradictions, is part of his great capacity in his place in the Whitmanic tradition. He toured worldwide as a member of the groundbreaking poetry collective New Yorican Poets Cafe Live that helped revitalize spoken word in the early 90s. His books, and Ameroscopia is the most recent, and that's available for sale in the lobby. So please grab a copy at the end of the reading, and I'm sure Edwin would be willing to sign them. And then prior to that, Yes Thing, No Thing, one of my favorite titles ever. And the Poepedology of an Andean Language. Amazingly divergent books. He's received fellowships from the New York Foundation for the Arts, the Foundation for Contemporary Performing Arts, and the Lower Manhattan Cultural Council, among others. He's also done lots of other amazing things. Now the other part of the introduction. Edwin Torres is a poet from whom words burst forth. In my poetics class, we've been reading The Tempest as an investigation into how poetry happens. I think of Ariel describing his performance of the storm that starts the tempest. I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now in the waist, the deck, in every cabin I flamed amazement. Sometimes I'd divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards, and bowsprit would I flame distinctly, then meet and join. And that movement is a movement that I hear in Edwin's poems, division and joining and amazement. But I also think of Caliban in his turning of the power of language against the wielders of power. Caliban says, "You taught me language, and my profit on it is I know how to curse. The red plague rid you for learning me your language." And also the Caliban that teaches us another language, and perhaps the most beautiful defensive poetry in another of its aspects that I know. Be not afeared, the isle is full of noises, sounds and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometimes voices that, if I then had waked after long sleep, will make me sleep again. And then, in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me, that, when I waked, I cried to dream again. That's another thing that happens when you listen to Edwin or read his books. And finally, completing that play's strange, one of the play's favorite words is strange. The play's strange trinity, I also, reading and hearing Edwin, think of Prospero. The Prospero most aware of the magical power of language and the power of giving up that power, who says, "But this rough magic I hear of Jor, and when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses that this airy charm, this for, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. Please welcome Edwin Torres.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Rich, for bringing me out here and for letting me talk, and all of you for being here. So yeah, I am going to be going to a few different places here. I don't talk too much between the pieces. Trust that you kind of come with me or come with you. I wanted to say hello to the Salcedos, but my hair was a mess. We were driven to the airport after performing the night before at a Hispanic festival in Columbus, Ohio. A salsa band from California and a poet from New York, both Puerto Rican except for my hair. I'd gone too long between haircuts, undecided after a life of short hair whether I had what it takes to look good with long hair. That I possessed the physicality to balance my scrawny calves, which magnified with every pound I imagined if I had long hair. After years of Tang milkshakes and individually wrapped American cheese slices, would my non-existent upper body strength hold up to what I'd always envisioned? During this indecision, it grew quickly into one lump. My hair represented a non-barrio dryness, unkept, almost hippie-like, something that just wouldn't sit too well with the busload of Boricuas I was riding with. Here were traditional Puerto Rican men, from 20 years of age to 60, very well groomed with gold watches and wisecracks. Here I was feeling out of place as my very non-Puerto Rican glasses kept slipping. I was having thoughts of fitting in or not. If you even have thoughts of fitting in or not, you don't. My beard may be trimmed, but my hair is disheveled. In my head is my entire conundrum. The rearview mirror exposed a rear view of who I was supposed to be in this Latino age, all because of my hair adding to my previously mentioned generally non-Puerto Rican look. Thing is, I'm the first to not want to fit in anywhere. When the moment you're in stops to surround you with memory and cologne, you take what's around you as immediate past. Smiling into the future, flowing into the ebb. On the bus ride with my brethren, us Latinos, we are gracious in our handouts, unconscious demonstrators of our plight. Whether real or imagined, it's convenient to have purpose if there is plight. Old Salcedos never die, they just find another beat. I'm from here, they're from there. We're brought to the middle of the land to show what the edges are like. Each coast represents an island of coasts, obscure, revolving around myself. I can see each of my coasts staring me back in the rearview mirror. An island of who I am, unsteady against the land I'm in. Puerto Rican men are all my father. There's no getting around that. I can't help it. I know it's not true, but the brain tells me what the music won't. And the music tells me now what my mother used to then, silent as the morning he died. All Puerto Rican men are salseros with impeccable timing, just like my father, finally taking me for a grown-up haircut the day before he died. Little 10-year-old mop top, spending the afternoon with Dad, first and only time, meeting his grown-up friends at my uncle's store. I need to use the bathroom, I said. He winked at the men and told me where it was. I turned on the light. All four walls, the ceiling, and parts of the floor were covered with pictures of naked women. There wasn't an empty space anywhere. Centerfolds, playmates, legs and hips, and who knows what. A sea of flesh and glossy eyes watching me pee. I finished quick and came back to my father. He said, "How was it?" I said, "Fine." They all laughed. As we left for my haircut, he gave me a wink, letting his guard down for a second, just like old Puerto Rican men. And I used to believe I wasn't one because I was in touch with my feminine side. Each of my hemispheres fully occupied, unlike the uneven beauty of my father. I discovered that this world uncovered is like the soul of the Puerto Rican man, occupied by the weight of his balance between I and land. But my vision blurs as my glasses slip. I'm in regression against any liberation that's happened to the species since the day he died. I refuse progress because then everyone will have caught up to me, and where will I be? I'm here as a Puerto Rican man of New York soul, representing my people by being who I am, confused and alienated by my own soil, which has now become my hair. This is a poem to the rhythm of life. This is the poem to the rhythm of life. This is the rhythm of a minimal life. This is the rhythm of a minimal life. I'm trying to settle to the rhythm of life, but all along I'm on a minimal high. I set a level to the rhythm of life, but every minute is a minimal life. I wrote a poem to the rhythm of life. I found the words upon a liminal sky. When I was young it was so easy to lie, but it's a man who says it better than I. Some ever said it was a severed society, so ever civil is it ever the piety. My sense of pacifism is a reality, but feminism is a seminal masterpiece. Don't ever let me get ahead of my lie. Don't ever say I never told you the right. Don't ever bet on a believable lie. Don't ever say it was a minimal life. This is the rhythm of a minimal life. This is a poem to the minimal life. This is the rhythm of a minimal life. This is a poem to the rhythm of life. Coney Island, 1969. My father was the manager of Nathan's Hot Dogs on Coney Island. A memory inside a beach ball. My cousin reaching below the surface. Water in my lungs, gagging, blue sky, technicolor white where skin should be. My father watched me walk the sidewalk cracks from our bedroom window in the Bronx, asking me what I thought I was doing. How a line is straight when you walk it. How a man knows exactly where to go. My father took us to Nathan's at Christmas, company party, Santa, 1,000 presents for each and every child. The boardwalk was cold, the rides empty. Coney Island winter. You had to warm your fingers by hiding them from the ocean. My father gave us hot dogs and fries between his affairs. He gave me animals to show his love. I had a beagle, a turtle, 3 guinea pigs, and 3 Java rice birds. I loved them, so I loved my father. My father took me and my 2 sisters to the Statue of Liberty. He told me it was made of Limburger cheese. I loved him. He never hit me. He never hugged me. I had to walk straight. That's what he told me. When I visit my father at St. Raymond's Cemetery, I find his gravestone. I have a son, I tell him. Winter is our time. When he left, when all those presents at Nathan's were opened, all those families. My father towered over me, laughing in his eyes. You're my little man, he'd say. From up there, the bumper cars, the mirrors, all those reflections. My father had a relationship with scale, an intuition for location, to remain long enough to be found, calling to catch what will does to wait. My father was never Coney Island to me. He never knocked on the door. That morning in the Bronx, my mother didn't open. No cops told her nothing. She didn't hide her face in her hands. No silent tears. No floor I play my Indians on. No roller coaster tell me no turn. No question come from long legs. No mean kids. No skinny mirror. My father had yoga thumbs. Look what I can do, I'd say, leaning out just far enough to make you catch me. He sits under my legs, the shower cascading a waterfall onto his head, his tiny fingers knuckling under the catch of water drops, as if they were rain from my calves. Dada, you are a waterfall. Yes, I am. He crouches on the bathtub floor, my face close to the shower head, giant over him, my eyes closed, the water wrapping my head in witness, finding its way down my back, trickling into my boy's tiny hands. Dada, I'm catching you, and you are a big drop of water. Yes, I am. He stretches his arms out while sitting beneath me. He holds onto each leg. You are strong, Dada, as if each trunk were embedded through the bathtub into the ground beneath us both. Hero, leader, liar. I haven't done anything to warrant a title yet. Trickster, demon, pope. Future and now while holding a dream. I could tell him the truth if I knew it. Here in the shower bath, the combination he loves, the ocean we pass between us, as if more than father and son were in the tub, more than pebble following shadow, as if light were in search of its holster. a constellation of infant foldings, a story in search of a seam. And in trying, the boy tried writing about the sky. And in writing about the sky, he became the sky, pretty, gold, and blue. And so he tried to write about the water, and in writing about the water, he became the water, pretty, gold, and blue. And so he tried to write about the writing, and in writing, the writing became pretty, gold, and blue. And so the boy tried leaving the writing, and in leaving, he became pretty, gold, and blue. And so the boy became the water, and in watering him, his sky became pretty, gold, and blue. And so the blue tried watering the sky, and in writing about the boy, blue became pretty, gold, and boy. And so the gold tried writing about the pretty, and in pretty about the blue became boy, boy, and boy. And so the boy tried boying about the sky, and in skying the pretty, pretty became boy, boy, and boy. And so boy, boy, and boy, and in boying the boy became. And gold, and gold, and gold tried golding the water, and in water was the blue who wrote about the boy who tried writing about the sky. He's from New York, Puerto Rico, New York. He's a New Rican. Is he new or is he Rican? He's a New Yorker. Is he new or a porter? A puerto, a port of sherry, sherry, sherry. Puerto, Puerto, York. Oh, Yoko, Noko. No city, new city, port of new, a city Rican. A Puerto Rican is called a Boricua. A Boricua, a boring what? This is boring. What this is, what you saying, what news saying, the news saying, new city, a Yorkie, a pit, a bull, a toro, a Torres, oh, a new Torres, no, a Nores, a city no-no, a city Yorker, uncorked, a boozer, a bozo, a new bozo, yo soy bozo loco, in the yo zone, see, yo soy the new yo, that's a new yo, bro. See, soy no Rican. He's no Rican from Noricua. He's no you, no yo, no I. The I in I is the new no. I be some of that new no. From that new yo, bro. We're on the lower west side, coming from the west side, showing you my best side, loving all of me side. It's my east side, I don't wanna be side. Don't you wanna hear I see? Love New York, my DNA is Boricua. Like me, no one speaks. Yeah, I love New York. My blood was born in the streets, yeah, ain't no one like me, yeah, I love New York. I'm living with my gente, paying all the rente, using my momente, never to surrender. What I feel, I follow, zeros, arrows, where does that leave me? Nowhere, no what, no why within, no right, no wrong, no wall within. So culture, make a soldier from a savior, and pray for Noricua. May all your zeros be free, ain't no island on me, I'm the no in Noricua. The more I find what I seek, I keep tripping on me, I get in my own ego, ego, ego. So So do we say it's good? No. Do we say it's bad? No. Can I get a malo followed by bueno? Yeah, no, mommy, papi, how you gonna rock me? Twitter made a bigger me, a beggar for the prophecy. I came, I saw, I want a lot more. The city revolution takes a village to occupy a station, higher education, acapella nation. No one hears you, Norikwa. No matter how loud we freak, yeah, we'll never be free if we never go Rikwa. The sea of no will inspire you, but no one will hire you until you go Rikwa. Your DNA gets Boricua like you no one speaks. Yeah, your love New Yorikwa. My mother's brother-in-law never left the shack he was born in, the world outside no match for the one inside. Saul, pronounced Saul, blue eyes of ice fire, canyon bronze crevices, folded on a sheared face, coffee mountain beard, bright notes, interspeckled philosopher raconteur, could have been poet, he states, confirming the non-title before I get any big ideas. Don't ever feel that local is what makes you a poet, his lesson starts. Don't ever feel crazy because you feel. Listen, he says. Let's say there's a house you pass every day. You see it as sure as I'm seeing that house right there. I pass it every day, but do I know it? Can I imagine that house? What it believes in? How it frames my day? There's the beginning, and there's the end, and then there's this house. My house, the one I live in. This is a house I do know, a house I built with my hands. The sort of house, one could say, with a certain amount of logic that knows me in return. You see, how can an object have the same feelings as a person of flesh and bone? That's where imagination comes in, where you can let your poetry feel for you, as if to affirm the awakening, he continues. You know, there are songs that have real meaning but also follow a logical path, for instance, and I only say this because you need to understand, and here is where the rest of the attack surges without me. I need to understand, he tells me. I am semi-left alone to balance thought against action as our eyes walk over insular blinking, reminded by waterless roads that anything you touch will touch you back. My mother's brother-in-law, ancient in his nurtured isolation, upon hearing that he was to have an audience with a poet, a real poet, in his words, unleashed a lifetime of torment embroidered by entry, his demonic shell outside the shack he was born in. A fitting metaphor of a house encased by a home, a world of his own making versus a world outside. No match for the man who believes he has dreamed his life is the one who will choose to wake up when it's gone. The man who laughs at his first breath will swing himself to sleep on the wings of his might. His moon, a suspension against natural intention. His landing, a forced reckoning, starved by the false never come. He pauses and sees an opening. The imagination is important, you see. The way you can go outside your house, the way you see what is across your street. That tree over there, for example, do I know it sees me every day just because I see it? How can that be, you say? How can a tree have the feelings of meat if I chop it down for fire or to live in? Who is to say that what I live in is not having feelings every day? The more I stay inside it, the more I wake up every morning and see these walls made of wood from a tree that feels. Who is to say that what sees me sleeping is also not sleeping but watching me while I sleep? The feeling of the tree I killed is the same one that protects me from the storm. What I killed is what loves me. You see, how can I say the same thing about a thing that I destroyed? Because it makes me warm and protected. That's where the mind comes in, you see? If you are using your mind in your words will protect you. If you destroy words with your moon, did I say? It was mind I meant. If your mind is destroyed, you know your words will protect you. What it is I think I want could be a walk along the now, underneath the low clouds, a skip aligned by direction, the ground as wet as a long rest. Let me experience belonging to a wish. I saw your Empire State Building, looking for your twin brothers. I saw you watching your brothers burning, helpless to the ground. I look up at you, tall, proud beacon. I too am a tower. It's my last name in Spanish. I look at you glistening in the morning, shining at night. I saw you watching your brothers die. They were beautiful and tall, although I think you have more character, but older brothers wear their age well. I saw you helpless and wanted to comfort you, but you're too big to hug. So I just keep looking at you, crying for you, holding you in my stare. Us towers, we have to stick together. Ars Poetica, Ars, A-R-S-E, Poetica. Poet Edwin Torres repositions the core of poetry, realigns the body of poetry, reassembles poetry, resembles a poem, reassembles the idea of poem from pieces like, reassembles the body of the poem from pieces like, realigns the reach of poetry, repositions the framework of poetry. Poet Edwin Torres repositions. Poet Edwin Torres renders. Poet renders possibility. Realizes the possibility at the core of poetry. Recharges the possibility at the core of poetry. Repositions the core of the possibility of poetry. Renews the possible at the core of poetry. Repossibles the possibility at the core of what is and isn't poetry. Repossibles the possibility of the possible. Possibly the most possible poet. The poor of the poor. Of poor is Torres. Torn of the poor is the poet Torres. Torres is the porn of poetry. The development of the mind as a multimedia presentation, or the good old days. There was once a time where if you just talked about a blowjob, it was considered an avant-garde performance. Now you need the Twitter, the tube, the hater, the player, and the smartphone to even get an audience. Today, if you talk about anything unexpected on stage, you need to dress it in expectation so that somehow, if the audience still doesn't reach climax, at least they can leave the theater with flushed cheeks. Or if you're in the zone, blue balls. A good healthy set without being arrested for mental masturbation. That's avant-garde these days. There was a time when avant-garde was a calling, not a hair salon or a sandwich. Now there are schools and terms like experimental and post and neo. Even talking about the avant-garde is cliche. You're considered a walking cliche every time you mention avant-garde, 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 avant-garde. Remember when it hurt to sit through something and you'd yell out in the middle of a crowded theater, "Saboteur!" as the performance continued regardless of the stampeding herd? Or remember walking down the street and hurtling yourself off a 7-foot ledge for no good reason, other than the fact that it would make for a really good photo op? Those were the days. I wonder about these things and realize that to even wonder about them only paints me in a certain light. Now, if I could only take that light, project it onto an empty stage, stand in the middle, and allow the audience to pelt the performer with whatever they could muster, that would be something. I wonder if I could write a grant proposal for a performance about writing a grant proposal in front of the audience, judging that grant proposal in the act of being submitted. That will be even more something. But mainly I wonder if I can end this writing, which began with such promise and quarantine, interdeveloped among entropy and bravado, so perfectly insular, without saying, God became free of charge 2,000 years ago. He got her pregnant. She never kissed a man. Why he become a man? Not for me to say. I met him in Lincoln Center. You turn around and kiss the man. Look at your Kindle. Take care of those you love. Read your tablet. Kiss a god. Make him a poet. I used to be the picture of a family man. I used to have insurance and a family plan. I used to be a fixture for the family man. I used to have endurance for the family plan. Viva la 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 la. Viva la 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 la. Viva la 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 la. Viva la 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 la. I used to have a garden with a place in the sun. I used to have a shoulder I could lay my head on. I used to be the model of a bodily soul. I used to hide a bottle in the watering hole. Viva la 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 la. Viva la 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 la. Viva la 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 la. Viva la 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 la. I used to be the leader of a nation of woe. I used to push a button and the missile would go. I used to blow the whistle on the fizz below. I used to put the sugar in the cappuccino. My people suffer more than yours do. 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 Viva la 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 la. Viva la 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 la. Viva la 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 la. Viva la 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 la. I used to have a limo, but they took it away. I used to have a pillow, but they took it away. I used to have a baby, but they took it away. I used to have a maybe, but they took it away. I used to watch the enemy before it was me. I used to watch the battle be the battle I see. I used to watch theology be all you could be. I used to watch reality before TV. When people suffer, they go da-da-da-dum. 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 I used to beat around the bush and call it a day. I used to peter out about a third of the way. I used to pay attention to the mention of new. I used to have a used to be addiction to you. Viva la 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 la. Viva la 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 la. Viva la 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 la. Viva la 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 la. I used to be the brother of the people I know. I used to be the other of the people I know. I used to be the lover of the people I know. I used to be the color of the people I know. I bet a booty's gonna better the flow. I beat a better booty with a bubble a blow. I better let a Buddha beat a Buddha below. A Buddha better beat it if he doesn't belong. I used to suffer, but I did it don't. I used to suffer, but I did it don't. I used to suffer, but I did it don't. I used to suffer, but I did it don't. You ever get a feeling life is passing you by? You ever get a feeling you could never describe? You ever get a feeling you were never alive? You ever get a feeling I could take you alive? I used to be the sinner when a sinner was fun. I used to be thinner when a thinner was fun. I used to be the winner when a winner was fun. I used to have fun, now I'm holding a gun. Some people suffering, oh, pow, pow. 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 Viva la 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 la. Viva la 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 la. Viva la 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 la. Viva la 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 la. The story. The size of each blade of grass had become bigger than a tree. Oh, excuse me, I forgot. One day there was a fox looking for his owl. Or was that an owl looking for his fox? They were always playing games like that. I will make you as big as a skyscraper, said the owl. Why are you scraping the sky, said the fox. I will fly over you as fast as a fox, said the fox. Why are you flying over yourself, said the owl. Wait a minute, what about the grass? Why was it bigger than a tree? Oh, excuse me, I forgot the story. One day a giraffe said hello to a fish. Wait a minute, what happened to the owl, said the little girl. What little girl, said the fox. Wait, are you telling the story now, said the storyteller? Or am I, said the little boy. What little boy, said the tree. The fox, the owl, the giraffe, the fish, the little girl, the little boy, the tree, and the storyteller looked at each other. We need a cloud in this story. Who said that? They all said yes. One day a cloud found a little frog. Wait a minute. I want to know what happened to the giraffe, said the giraffe. The giraffe was saying hello to me, said the fish. Hello, hello. How are you today? I'm a little wet. I'm a little tall. I'm a little ant. Wait, how did a little ant get into this story? You call this a story? Who said that? Look over there, said the storyteller, a star is shining. But it's morning, said the monkey. How did a monkey get in here? What's going on, fox? Nothing much, monkey. We're all sitting here, listening. Ah, it must be bedtime, said the flea. There's a flea in my soup, said the grass. Grass can't talk, said the tree. Everyone looked at the cloud. One day a moon was shining on a lake, said the tree. You can't see a moon in the day, said the ant. It must have been early in the morning, said the owl. Owl, I have not heard from you since the beginning of the story, said the little girl. I know a lot about early in the morning, said the little boy. It must have been night, said the fox. Is that when tree gets to be smaller than grass? Said who? One night everyone was telling a story at the same time. A lot of friends gathered together. Some starting to sleep, some just waking up. Wait a minute, said the storyteller. Does that mean that you are finishing the story, said the cow? What cow? The scientific name for the Ebola virus is Ibundibungyo. Is I, say I. Is this sa po, sis I so, po is poet, so pisses I, sis a po? Sus is I, sas oppose, lo, so pi, si, is I solo? No lo, so, sis I says, is this I at pi? Is it I at po, si, sis is I, sis I? Ibun di bun yo, ego di bun bo. Ibo bun di bun yan come bum di bum bo. Dum di fun go, me no gum di gum bo. Run di jung go, fino fino fum di fum yo. He don't run the run show, who know young the young know. Some the sun throw, no more fun, he won't go. Bum di bum bo, bum 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 di bum go. La, no ma, no la la, she mam wo la, she might know. She say boldly, so go see, so bundy bo, bug be yo, mam she go man before fun, she go pun the bone, whoa. By the by, she buy, he buy. Defy, de lie. Defoe, be I. I'm just making some noise. Group data. Movement without momentum is not revolution, it's just noise. Where in the mass arrest is the alignment of shadows' interference on solstice? Does the organism contain itself before consuming its own mass? Is that where disobedience comes from? To inspire change by way of deflection, to inspire reach by way of personal God, to create the unreachable blog. The further I can't touch you, the easier I can rest. And I'm so tired these days. And that's the point. Is a noise that happens by waiting as loud as the one inside the ears? The one that unravels revolution by gear-wrenched creed that whittles doing from done? The organized paradigm. We were halfway through a conversation in our life together, and then suddenly you disappeared. Is that movement or noise? I don't need to know so much about you. I don't want to be burdened by connection. I do impossible very well. The collected word object, the realigned alpha glyph, the desired virus, the collaged epic, the extracted real, the glue brain, the knowing that comes with not fitting in, looking to fit in, someone has been for ages, knowing they already do, with the not fit inners. Why would I give you my thinking in bits? So much space between thoughts, separations, letters, words, between objects, the between object, is every object. Every edge is the line break that decides how to read the bits between. All that control, deciding when to break, the combination of all those edges, all that presentation. How do I want you to follow me? Where will you go if you don't? What will happen to me if my interconnections misfire? My carefully crafted confusion filtered into language. The rough of my edges smoothed down as spectacle. As broken hallelujah, as featherless as transition between landing and going. My wish to bring myself into your vision, my resolve to lose my way in yours, to go when you do what I to you do too. When given familiar stops along the road from one release to another, my edge to yours, a journey made familiar right here, the encased shell, the act of understanding, the skin of cognition, the embodied word, the history of your edges that connect to whatever you need right now. When the word first became a membrane, a thought before a form. There is an understanding there, an understanding at the reach of its ending of my time here with you. The thought that becomes the word, never ending. How can it? A lifetime in the making, a journey that led to its creation, a right now in the making. What forms the beginning of what you end right here, which began way before you arrived. Why do I need you to get me? Is the reason I need you to get me, to connect. And all those points of connection, finite and permeable, are where we start. Honest. I am a human. I take a machine to air so the sky can see me. A bird does not belong there when I am there. A pet does not stop me from reading the paper. A pet does not belong to have people feel for him in the newspaper. A jit does not need metaphor from the sky when I am there inside the engine. A kitten will not be a bull running away from a stab. An elephant will not cry when his friend dies. Does not get a moving picture show made of liget to show me how to feel. An eagle does not stay with one love for his life and ever. The beach, swear I see the mountain, older than where I stand. Does a fish not know taking a drug will make me kill you? I am a human. I want. I do. Futopo. Break the city. Break the city from its sect. Insect city takes the champ. Break the champ city. Take the city. Take the champ city from someone. One. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Hear the one. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Come back to the cell and save us, a terrible thing to save us. Fear the one, tear of all fear. The tear of all fear is fear. The tear of all fear is a fear drop, boy drop. Fear the boy who says, I am bzz-fict, I am just bzz-fict, the bzz-fict boy says bzz with love, says fear with love, says girl with love, a terrible thing is love. Peligro de amoridad, peligro de consumidad, peligro de cantaradad, peligro de soledad, de edad, de nada, as if I was falling, as if I was calling. You're cute and you're bald and your culture's beyond, sir. You're trapped in your rapture, your own, sir. Mírame, tírame, vídame, mama, me dígame, sígame, gaga. See me, feel me, hear me, mama speaks me in the 40s, 50s, 60s. The 60s are spixies. The spics in the 60s are slicksties. The slicks in the zipsies are nixties. Nicked, teased, knocked, nowhere I see my reflection. To travel to see a deception, bzzation, bzzism. The worker speaks for the worker. The people speak for the people. La raza speaks for la raza. Fear the fall, fear the catch. Save the many, save the match. Save them, save ellos, save halos, olas, alas, solar roller gyrate. Save them. Save the missile instant, save the warrior, save the man, home man, Esta palabra es nada, siempre palabras sin te dejar de nada. Viejo de santa, piedra cantada de nada. Quinto rezada de nada. Luna pintada de nada. Estrella cantada, gente mojada en nada. Caliente se caja calaca de nada. 200 sin agua de nada. Level the field that heals. Sever the heel that feels. Help the wretched intolerable. Help the hatchet carnivoral. Help the shivered, help the livered, help the liver sparrow. Help intelligent marrow. Help alapiscillin motor motor moso, terrefoso, terrafin, terrefalucin, terrify, errorist, terror-errorist, mecha-error, mesa-error, terrafucation, mirrorfucation, mecha-fixation, mecha-mess of this. Manifest the wretch, manifest the light, manifest the end, manifest the rise, manifest Mantrayana, mi almana, antacontana, quinta ventana, finca ventrana, seventana, antana, na isla de mama pequeña. Adentro, inside of my in is no end. No in, new no, no new yo recuerdo, de celdo, esa es huida de mi suelto. No yo could ever be new. No yo could ever be new. No yo be new, no Isla is my island. No Isla is a man. No Isla made me bzzfict. No bzzfict is no man, no limb, no wing, no bzz. No, don't correct me. No I, no stand, no mama, no man, no bam, bambo, rambo, mambo, riqua. No mengua, no riqua. No. No barrier, no barrio, no cipher barrio, no body barrier, no cuerpo, no tiene concepto, no cuerpo, no lingo babalún. No lingo babalún. No más, no, see the vaya loon in the nada. Catch the vaya loon in the nada. Fly the vaya loon and be nada. Break. This is the point I could never return to. If I back down, I can never return. This is the point I could never return to. If I turn back, if I turn, to make your turn mean something. To heart and bosonosity, to mouth and bosonality, to touch and bosonation, to nose and bosentration, to ear and bosonegony, to taste and bosonism, to boson listen, to boson ocean, to boson whale, to boson flower, to boson glacier, to boson people, to boson field, to boson drone, to boson worker, to come back, And I'll leave you with one piece. Indian hand poem. I met an Indian in the park. Not this kind of Indian, this kind. He was feeding olive pits to a little squirrel. I offered to help, and he turned into a little girl. Not this kind of little girl, this kind. She started to read pages from her diary. She read, I saw Ptolemy yesterday. He said, don't do that in front of me. I think I'm in love with her. I offered to help her. She turned away. Not this way, that way. I ran after her and caught you. You danced around me. Not this kind of turn. I kissed your breath. I kissed your spirit. Splinters of sugar came down from your eyes, painfully, effortlessly. I kissed my tears from your cheeks. They tasted sweet. I started to itch. I opened my eyes. I was wearing a red dress made of green cactus needles. My insides felt like they were swelling up with 1,000 eyes. I started to cry. A clown walked by, looked at me, smiled, and started to cry. I offered to help, and the clown turned into a cloud. The cloud settled down around me, told me a story. The cloud said, when angels fall in love, they place their halos over each other's chest and let their hearts fall through. They look down and watch as their hearts form a cloud around them. They embrace. The cloud you're in is the heaven I feel when I'm with you. If the sky should be sad with you, let me be the one to catch the raindrops from your eyes. So I said, what do you mean by that? The cloud drifted away, taking the rain within, letting the wind come in. My eyes could feel the tease of the breeze. I could hear heaven scream and silence dream. So sweet. And I didn't hurt anymore. The cloud had left ajar, filled with eyes that had cried 1,000 lives. And everywhere I moved, they followed. I opened the jar and heard the most amazing sounds. A little girl walked towards me. I started to sing. I started to feed her eyeballs. She lost her sight. If love takes mistakes and makes them love, why can't I find my cloud? Why is it always the sun? Always the sun. Never the dark. Never the clouds. Thank you.